Yo, what's up? This is DJ Yella from the world's most dangerous group. You're listening to Murder Master Music Show. You understand me? Murder Master Music Show with Prez in the house.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Prez. Welcome back to Murder Master Music Show. This is episode 819. We got a very special guest tonight. He's got a book out that's amazing. I mean, front to back, you have to read it. Straight out of Compton, My Untold Story. I'm talking about DJ Yella of N.W.A. Yella, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
And glad to have you here. I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. Before we talk about the book, though, COVID has been a crazy situation for us all. You're used to going on the road and doing shows and things of that nature. How have you been holding up during the whole pandemic?
I've just been relaxing, kicking back. Well, over the year and a half, that has been going on, I've been writing the book for the past year and a half. Because I stopped, the last road show I did was in Malaysia or somewhere. That was in the end of 2019, and after that, everything shut down. I was about to go to China in March of last year, and that's where it started. So that got shut down.
Yeah, that's the common thing I've been hearing. A lot of people had plans, and then this unexpected thing just came out of nowhere. Now that things are easing up, are you getting ready to go back on the road and maybe promote the book and do more shows?
I'm not in a rush yet. Not really. I just, people starting to stop and wear masks. I still wear mine, so. But now I haven't thought about going on the road. Maybe end of the summer or something. But mostly probably book signings and stuff like that. Not too much out the country yet because they still kind of hot.
Yeah, and I feel you on that mask stuff. I'm not quite ready to ditch that either, not just yet, because you just don't know what's going on, But this gave you an opportunity to write this amazing book. Did you have plans of doing this, like years ago, and this finally happened, and you said, you know what, I'm going to hunker down and just get it done? Is that how it worked?
No. I never wanted to write a book. Matter of fact, to get this one book, it took me 2 times to write it. I dealt with an editor at first, and that didn't work out. And then I came with this last person that I edited with, and she was amazing. Her name is Johnny Goolsby. She went to school for all this. So all I did was told her my story, and she just put it in, put it down. And I never planned it. God just gave it to me to do it. I never wanted to do a book. I never even read a book before. The Bible, yeah, but nothing else. I never opened up a manuscript or a novel or something like that.
So this is something that, you were pretty much just, like you said, God had told you to do this. That's an amazing thing because, the life you have led, you talk about the fringe benefits and things like that, the late on the road and stuff.
I know you read it now.
Well, yeah, of course. Hey, man, I read Fresh Kid Ice's book. I mean, you want to talk about fringe benefits? Rest in peace to the homie Fresh Kid Ice. But to go from where you went to where you are today, a dedicated father, a religious man. You got to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I just try to stay humble. I've always been humble. I always have been humble. Even back in the beginning days when we was number one. Even in them days, me and Dre, we didn't think of being a star or nothing like that. We felt more like stars in the early days of the Wrecking Crew when we was DJs. That felt more like being a star. But I just stay humble, and I didn't realize I went through that much life. I mean, and amazing how I remembered it. I mean, wow.
Yeah, because I mean, you're a kid from Compton. You were into music and things of that nature. and to go from making records in a garage to getting platinum and gold plaque after plaque, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, highest grossing movie, musical other than Bohemian Rhapsody, music biopic. That's amazing, you know. But also, you know, you reveal in the book that you know, you went through some rough periods, like we all do. You were actually homeless. I was shocked to find that out. How did you make it through those times when you were homeless?
You know something? When I call it homeless because I didn't have my own place. You know, I had to be on my sister's couch or somebody's couch. I wasn't on the street, but I was like one breath from it. And it just, when I was going through them 3.5 years, I wasn't mad at nobody. I wasn't mad at the world. I wasn't mad at God. I was just, it is what it is. And I never had any thoughts of how to get out of it. I never thought about it. I never, if I make this, if I make that, I never thought about it. I just dealt with it. It was what it was, you know. So, you know, God put me through this. I know I didn't do it. Dre didn't do it. Q didn't do it. I know who did it. That's why I made the book. Because the book is to give him glory, not me. I didn't make it for money or none of that stuff. I made it for the testimony. Maybe it might touch somebody somewhere. I've been getting good feedback already about how different stuff touch people. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, it's definitely inspiration because, you know, you got to look at it. It shows, you know, the strength of the human spirit under extraordinary circumstances, whether it be bad or good. And you've lived both sides of the line.
You
know, when you were, you know, in N.W.A. and things really started to pick up, did you start to sense that your life was going to, you know what I'm saying, skyrocket like it did? Or did you ever think, you know what, it's not going to, it's just, you know, we're going to make some noise like we did with the Wrecking Crew, or did you know right away it was going to be something much bigger than that?
Nah, you know something, we never thought that it would gold and platinum. That was never even a thought. Never even really heard of that before. We would just, like the Wrecking Crew days. We did the Wrecking Crew, but we didn't make no money. So we did this, and we started to make money. We just wanted the money to buy, you know, little clothes, have money in our pockets, maybe buy a little car or something. That's all it was. It wasn't, I wasn't thinking about, we're going to get big, or never thought of that at all. Never. Even like the Hall of Fame, I just like, I forgot. You know, people will say something, and I say, we are in the Hall of Fame. You know, I don't even, you know, it's cool, but I don't even get into all of that. And we never thought we did anything at all.
Like you said, you're real humble, and you can see that in the book. Throughout the book, you always, you know, I stay out of grown folks' business. You know, I never did it about the money. You were very adamant about saying that. How important was it for you to get that across to the people that you weren't in this for the money and it was more love for the music?
It was just, I guess it's just my character. That's how I was. You know, being around, you know, some kind of entertainment for so long. We're talking about the early 80s, so long. Even when I was a little kid, when I was DJing my brother's little wedding thing or something, reception or something. You know, I didn't know nothing about it. It was 8-track tapes. I had them all preset to play songs, you know, but it just never thought about it. Never. It just, I don't know. I've been humble all my life, so I never was a bragger. I never was a show off. I had the big rims for everybody to see. You know, I loved cars back then, but I just liked cars because of the new smell.
Yeah, that new feeling. Take it off the lot, and you write about your car experiences. You had some pretty good ones over the years. Out of all the ones you had, though, what was your favorite?
I like the Hummer. The Hummer for SUV, that was the best. It burned gas. That was the only problem. I like the Hummer because you see in the book I bought 2 of them back to back.
Yeah, you back to
back. I'm like, what? Was I crazy? What was I thinking? Cars is just cars to me. There's no big thing. I like luxury cars. I had a Scion XB. I like all kind of. It don't matter. Cars are cars nowadays, really.
Yeah. Well, even when you were driving around, when you were sleeping at your sister's and stuff, you were driving around the PT Cruiser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That right there shows that a car's a car. You know, and it got you from point A to point B.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you know, and it just what it was. God had to humble me, take everything away. I mean. Because there wasn't no drugs, it wasn't none of that. It was just the money just ran out and ran out, and I had to be humble. When I first stayed at the what was the Beautiful one, I think I called it that, and I first stayed there. Then I went to my sister. When I went to my sister, that's like humble even more because she stayed in the ghetto. I ain't never lived in the ghetto, so or the projects rather, and that was a humbling experience.
and that was later on in life too, with all the stuff you seen on the road with Eazy and the guys, or even just growing up in Compton. You know, that was a real eye opener for you then, huh?
Oh yeah, it was something nobody in my family had went through. So even though we grew up in Compton, we had a house and stuff. We had front yard and backyard, so we was blessed. But, yeah, that was in, like 2010 when it started. It didn't end until I got married in 2013. So that was something that was like the worst time of my life ever. But I wasn't mad. I wasn't depressed. I was just, okay, let me just keep going. I didn't have no dreams or nothing, but I wasn't depressed. Now people get depressed with too much money. They depressed, stressed out. I've never been a stressed person ever in my life. Either I got money or I don't. Either I got it or I don't. If I have it, whatever it is, I never stress.
Yeah, and that's a good way to keep yourself, healthy too, because stress definitely can cause health problems.
It kills. A lot of people dying at 40, 30-something, young people. I mean, it's just amazing. That's what I'm saying. Some people, even when they got money, they stress. Too much money, you stress. So this, I don't look at money as money is just money. I had it, spent it, whatever, gave it away, whatever. It's no big thing. I don't depend on money. Yeah, we got to have money to survive, but I don't have no love for it. I never had. Back then, I had the love for buying things because I was bored. All my friends worked, In entertainment, you ain't working. You work once every couple of months or something, but so that's why I bought stuff. Plenty of stuff.
Absolutely. You said, I don't want to give them everything. I'm just giving them a couple little bits and pieces. You said Ren, you felt that, he was the dopest rapper. He had the strongest voice.
Well, he had the strongest voice. He had the strongest voice, definitely. Cube had a sound, but he had the best sound, that little voice. Remember, in them days, Dre wasn't really rapping. He only rapped on one song or two songs on the first album. He didn't start really rapping, coming up to the front to rap into the second album, in the 100 Miles and Running EP. But Ren had a strong, strong voice. Strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I always wondered, too, he made a few solo albums, and he kind of disappeared, didn't do anything until he did one of your movies. He did a song back, years back.
Banging in L.A. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any theories on or did he ever tell you why he didn't want to rap anymore?
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I stay out of those business. I mean, when me, him, and Q was on the road for like we did like 10 shows or something like that, we all did that during like maybe 2016 after the movie, after the Hall of Fame and stuff. We did a bunch of shows, but I never asked. I just stay out of grown folks' business. That's all. Me, I
so
just,
dope.
Mhm.
No, I was just going to say he's so dope. It would be something the fans would really like, or just even you do shows with Eazy's kids. Derek and Lil E.
Yeah.
Why not do an N.W.A. reunion with all you guys and let Derek and Lil Eazy play the parts of their dad? Have you ever thought about that?
I thought about it. Hopefully it might manifest one day. Hopefully the real reunion might happen. You never know. I mean, especially since the movie, they definitely wanted us, for tours and stuff like that. And we just didn't come together. That's all. I mean, there ain't no hard feelings, no nothing. We just didn't come together. But that would be nice in the future. Maybe I can get Ren out on the road with me and bring probably Lil E with me. And that's almost like a reunion right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you got Public Enemy dropping dope projects, they just dropped last year, Ice-T rapping, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Plus, with your popularity right now, the movie's still, like I said, it's still the second highest grossing film of all time. You regretted
now
you sign out
the
film.
I think it's the highest grossing. It's the highest grossing black movie, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. And I think it was the highest grossing biopic.
Yeah, bio.
Now that's
until I think Bohemian Rhapsody came along.
Oh, okay. That must just knock us off.
But still, I mean, right there, at the top. When you signed on more or less as a consultant. You regretted not signing on as a producer. I was wondering why wouldn't they want to make you a producer, being that the film is about you, and your friends.
Oh, something I never got into it. I never asked. I'm just like, okay, But I realized what it was. God didn't want me to make money off the movie. He's having me make money from the movie. At that time, in the book when I was talking to the lawyer and stuff about, the deal and stuff, I was just coming off of being homeless. So I was kind of stuck. I could pass up this little money or take it. I needed it, so I took it. Nothing, hey, that's all they offered me, so, nothing I could do about it. I ain't mad at them at all. I think the movie was great. It was pretty good.
It put you guys, into the light like today, kind of like how The Last Dance did with Jordan. It showed all these, LeBron fans who the king was,
Yeah.
Kind of have to go back and look at footage and things, and it brought that perspective. Plus, like I said, man, you go to N.W.A, all these different places all over the world. That had to be amazing for you to have not toured for so long, then all of a sudden, here you are again.
Yeah, I mean, because the funny thing is, N.W.A only went to London once. We did 2 shows in Brixton and some other place. That's all we did. And then besides the 40-city tour, and then shows in the early days, in the beginning, that's it. I traveled to more countries doing shows by myself than the group did. Than the group ever did shows. Yeah. I mean, I've been probably to 100 countries, or I can't even remember been so many. I mean, I've been places I've never even heard of, Bahrain, Bali. I went to Korea. I went to Vietnam. I mean, Korea, Vietnam. I mean, that's like unheard. And I was in the northern part of Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, whatever they call it, Ho Chi Minh something. That's where the Viet Cong was in the war.
Yeah.
And, now Vietnam is all one, but that was on the bad side. But it's amazing. I was like one of the first hip-hop DJs to come to Vietnam. And what's so crazy? they love hip-hop more than we love it.
Yeah.
Out the country loves it more. That's what they want. They want old school hip-hop. On my shows, I don't play nothing new. Nothing new. All old school. That's what they want. That's what they love. It's amazing.
Yeah, they want. Yeah, well, I've noticed too. A lot of people overseas, they learn English from you guys, man. They learn English live crew. I mean, you know.
Yeah, because when it was in Korea and in China and all that, they don't speak English, but they speak the words of the songs. That's
amazing. You know, that shows you the power of music. You know, stretches around the globe. You know. And the book is filled with happy times, sad times, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You did a great job at capturing just about every emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the sad times, the passing of Eazy. You know, when he was sick, you got a phone call from him.
Mm-hmm.
What was that phone call like, and how did it affect you?
It was, at the time, I didn't think nothing about the phone call. I was at his house shooting a movie, and he just called. He just called me out the sky blue, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. He said, and all he really said was, "Watch yourself." He said that a couple of times. I said, okay, all right, okay, and I got off the phone. Didn't think nothing about it, so I didn't talk to him no more. When I seen him in the hospital, he was already put into how they put him, where they put him under. I forgot what a coma, induced coma.
Yeah.
Induced coma, yeah. He was already in that. So, I didn't get to talk to him anymore at all. Because he didn't want me to know what was going on. He did not want me to know at all. Not at all.
You think the warning was his way of telling you to be careful with, the women?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's what it was. Yeah, watch yourself. That's what he was saying. Watch yourself. He definitely said that 2, maybe 3 times. So we didn't have much of a conversation. It was like a regular conversation. It wasn't. If he would have said, "Oh, I'm in the hospital," then then I would have stopped shooting and went to the hospital. But we never did say anything. So I'm just, got off the phone with him kind of fast. And that was the last time. Just like the last picture that he took with me and him. That was his last public picture. That was his last picture. I haven't seen any other picture.
Out of straight off the streets of Compton, right?
No. The one where I was at my birthday party. He gave me a birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in December of '94. That was his last picture, period. The ones off his album was old pictures.
That was that photo shoot you didn't know what it was for at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No. We took some pictures of a photo shoot. Yeah, I didn't know what we were like. Why are we taking pictures? Their pictures never got used, but the ones for his last album came off an even older picture from the N.W.A. days. They had found, if I'm not mistaken, because I had seen that picture before, with him standing in front of that little lineup thing with the police thing. That was an old picture. That was definitely from the N.W.A. days.
Yeah. He, like you said, he was trying to obviously warn you, but also I think from what you said in your book, he was trying to warn you in the afterlife as well, because the night he passed, he came to you in a dream.
Oh yeah.
And please break that down for our listeners.
I mean, it's crazy. I said, he's going to visit me, and I did not want to stay there by myself. I remember. That's when the 2 different girls came, and, one had to go. I had to pay one to leave. And then that night, he definitely came and visited me. It was so real. I mean, really real. And he just was talking, and I didn't hear too much what he had to say, but he said, "I got to go." And I'm like, huh? And I looked at him, and he was gone. That was the last time I seen him. So he was just telling me, I'm okay. I'm going wherever I'm going. He told me, that's what he told me. And I just like, wow. I knew it. It was so real. I knew he was going to visit me. I just knew it.
Did you guys ever just like, when you were just talking, as friends, did you ever talk about the afterlife? Did he ever say, like, because he played jokes on you and stuff, like with the Mickey Mouse check. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Kind of. But did he ever say something like, if I ever die before you, I'm going to come back and haunt you, or anything like that?
No.
No?
The only part that I really realized that he talked about that was when I was mixing the album, his last album. And one of the songs we had did, he talked about that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it when I made the song. But after he had passed, and then when Ruthless came for me for the album that was sitting in the studio that everybody wanted, somebody told me to hold it off for $1 million. That just wasn't my style. I can't do that. I couldn't do hold his album ransom. Nah. But he said something about dying and all that, and I didn't notice that until the album came out. I said, wow, we made the song, and I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah. That's that's creepy, but that's like an experience that you're never going to forget. Did you wake up right away? What was he? Did he say anything to you in that dream?
He was talking, but I didn't remember what he was saying. It wasn't that long, and we were just flying through the air, and I could just feel the breeze of the air. We just talking. He's talking, but I can't remember what he said. Only words I remember is, I got to go. There was something else he said with it. I didn't put it in the book, and I won't say it. There was something else said before he said that. But I'm like, nah, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say nothing against him. But he said something, then he said, I got to go. And then he was gone. That was it. Never had a dream about him no more at all.
I think that was his way of probably letting you know that he's going to be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that he accepted it, whatever it is. That is, okay, this is what it's going to be. I'm okay. So he just, he just was telling me. So I'm like, okay. But I knew he was coming that night. I knew he was coming. I was like, ugh. Because I used to be scared of the dark, so. Yeah.
Were you going to actually, like, see an apparition or something?
But I didn't know. I was like, I know he's going to come something. Walk in the room or something. I knew he was going to do it.
Yeah. Well, that leads me, let's focus on some funny times, Let's talk about that Mickey Mouse check for $90,000. Please tell us about that.
I should have been still upset with it. I remember that. I just finished a Yomo Markey album. Then he came up there to give me a check, and me being the dummy, didn't look at the check, didn't even think about it. When I get to the bank, and the lady said, do you know this guy? I said, who? Mickey Mouse. I was like, I could, because he signed the check to Mickey Mouse. He didn't sign it Mickey Mouse. He put it instead of my name, Mickey Mouse. I was like, this dirty rat. I had to hunt him down for a day to catch him.
Man.
Oh.
I mean,
that was funny.
Was he always like that, though, playing jokes with people?
Yeah, I mean, that's how we was. We was like a family. There was never no arguments. There was never nothing. What people don't realize, what broke up the group was the outsiders, not the inside. It's always the outsiders. What can they gain, with this person or whoever they deal with, whatever it is. It's the outsider. Think about it. We broke up at number one. Number one in the world. Because the album shipped number one. The last album. And it's just like, groups don't break up at the top. They break up at the bottom. Or when it's going downhill or something. We was at number one.
Yeah.
That's just, it's just amazing.
That was the hardest album, too. The best one you guys put out.
Oh, yeah. Because we grew up in producing. No samples, reuse samples, none of that stuff.
Yeah, it's like the '85 Bears. They win that amazing Super Bowl, and then poof, they get traded.
Yeah.
We see that in sports, but yeah, you're 100% right, man. You guys went out on top and broke up like that. But like you say, the outsiders, that's how it always is, unfortunately. You always get people sidelines giving their input. Throughout the book, you wouldn't reference Jerry Heller. You called him Mr.
Manager.
Yeah. I've had his kids on the Eazy's kids on the show. Some of them refer to Jerry as like a grandfather figure. Did you and him never reconciliate or never talk to each other after everything?
No,
before he passed?
Because in the book, think about it, in the book, well, Eazy passed, and then, remember later, Jerry tried to get the album from me. He asked me about the Eazy album. And I didn't realize until I got left in the car and got on the freeway. I said, wait a minute, did he just try to get the album from me? I forgot all about that album. I ain't never thought nothing about the album. It was that audio achievement just sitting there. Nobody knew it was there because I had the album because I worked on it. I did most of the songs on the album. So it just, but I didn't think nothing about the songs, anything. And then I had seen Jerry maybe around the time, right before I was going homeless. This might have been, it was right 2010. The first time I didn't have a car. I remember seeing him for a hot moment. I DJ'd something for his cousin or something, some kind of little get together, and talked to him for a minute. And that was it. That was all. But people don't understand what he was. He's getting 20% off the group. Okay, I understand that. But you're also getting 20% off the record label. So that's a conflict of interest that we was too young to know about. That was the problem. It was immoral. Whether it was crooked or not, I don't know. So I try to keep it clean as much as I can about it. Just like in the book, when I went to the Valley and I left there, I was $108,000 out of my pocket. That was that I did not get. Yeah. Dealing with these people, I'm just like, you go to the accountant and say, oh, you owe exactly $90,000 for taxes, but the check happened to be $90,000. What a coincidence!
Oh yeah.
And I signed over the check. This person signed it over because we were young and dumb. We didn't know no better. Not at all. That's why I say I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. I ain't got nothing good to say about him. At all.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle with everything. Well, everybody deals with people in their own way, too, and has their own circumstances. No one can tell you how to feel about him or vice versa,
Oh, yeah.
But another thing in the book, too, you get this call from Dre when Dre's leaving Ruthless, and he wanted you to come with because you guys had high-powered productions. That was one of the best, if not the best, production duos teams of all times. So he wanted to keep that intact while he was with Death Row, right?
Yeah. So I didn't understand. When he called me that morning, I didn't know what he was talking about. Because all he said is, I'm gone. So I'm thinking in my mind, going where? So I never answered to him. I never answered him until 2019 when me and him talked by ourselves about it. I didn't address it in the book. I just kept that private, but I did not answer him until 2019, the last time I seen him. And I was caught in the middle. Leave with Dre or stay with Eric. Like, I ain't got nothing against, just like the diss song, the same thing. Dre had the diss song. E made the diss song, and E knew not to come to me about being in the video or none of that. He knew that. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. That's my buddy at all. So I was always caught in the middle. I'm just like, wow. He's leaving, but I didn't know he was really leaving.
I mean, you kind of, like you said, being caught in the middle. You were kind of, I would imagine, like the voice of reason, the one trying to keep everybody together. Were you trying to do that?
No, because I really didn't know what was going on. By the time I knew he was leaving, he was gone already.
Yeah.
So, I'm just like, and I didn't say, okay, Eric, I'm going to stay with you. No, I didn't say nothing at all. I was just like, okay, he's gone, so I'll just stay here, Eric ain't did nothing bad to me. So, I was just caught. I should have went with Dre, because he asked me originally to come around N.W.A. when I had a little job. I put that in the book too, that he asked me to come in the group when we was leaving the wrecking crew. But that's why I said I was just caught, and I just young and naive. I didn't know what to do. I didn't do anything. That's what I did. I didn't do nothing.
You stayed out of the beefs and the diss records, and you made it clear that you didn't heard of that.
Oh yeah, that wasn't my thing. I'm like, why am I gonna be dissing him? And I'm like, nah, I'm good on all that. Nope.
Yeah.
At all. I didn't even like performing a song with E live. We only did it a few times, Arsenio Hall and stuff like that. I didn't like doing it on that because it was dissing. I'm just like, But E wanted me to do it. He wouldn't do it without me. The few shows we did, he wouldn't do it without me.
When he came out in a robe for that interview.
Oh yeah.
It's the KRS-One.
Yeah.
That's classic.
He just thought of it right then, right before he went out, and then he came out in his boxers on the one of the American Music Awards, I think it was.
American Music Awards, yeah.
Yeah, he just took off his pants, put his pants on his arms. I'm like, what is you doing?
The glasses with one lens out, the hockey mask. He was always entertaining individual. Yeah. But you can't have no regrets on the way you handled it. You and Ren both did a good job of staying out of it, like you said, and remaining, true to both of them, I believe. Just because you might have stayed on Ruthless doesn't mean you hated Dre, But years later, you got to be with him on the set of the movie and everything, and you said in 2019 you got to talk to him. What was that conversation like, and was there any talks of possible reunion at that time?
I mean, that talk was just, I mean, it was personal, but it was emotional. It was very emotional at that, because we haven't talked about it. Never talked about E's past, none of that. That was the first time we mentioned any of that. I mean, I have seen, a few times here and there, but, it was just an emotional time. And a reunion, I don't know. It might still could happen. It ain't hard. Everybody still wants us to do it, which is the crazy thing, Because think about this. The big rock and rollers do it all the time. Willie Nelson, when they do it, some of them don't even like each other, but they still do it. Yeah, for the fans. Well, and you got to look at it like this, too. Of course, E's not here, but, we was always trying to get the Ghetto Boys to come back together, and now Bushwick and Ready Red are dead. They're no longer. It should be done now while you guys are here. I like that they did Mount West more. That's a step in the right direction, but
everybody wants that N.W.A. reunion. Everybody in hip hop.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, because think about this: when the movie came out, it restarted us all over again. We sold more than back in the original days. We got more bigger than back in the original days. I mean, it was just like a whole new era. I mean, because, you know, social media and all that is so big now, phones, and, you know, and it just, you know, straight out of Compton, platinum digital sales for the single, just for the single. And then the albums, all the albums sold again, all that stuff. It just, you know, it's a whole new generation. You know, when I'm doing all these countries, all these different countries, it's younger people. I mean, young, that weren't even born when we did the albums. But now it's just amazing, especially when the riots was going on through the summer and all that. Our song was the number one song being played.
Yeah.
The number one on the downloads.
So relevant today, unfortunately.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
all these.
I mean, what we talked about, you know, what we talked about on the police song wasn't nothing we invented. That was already being talked about before us. We just happened to be the ones that brought it to public, you know, over the airwaves. And then in the summer after the George Floyd and all that stuff, you know, it just like, wow. It's amazing that all the rallies, that all that stuff, that song was being played. It's just like, wow. It's still, like you said, relevant for today. Our music was ahead of its time. That's what it is. It was so far ahead of its time. It's amazing. How many groups can be big in their time, then, you know, go away, and then come back and be even bigger than before? That's got to be rare.
That is. You're right. You're 100% right. And I think it's going to set up the future for other groups, too. Because when they finally tell the story of some of these guys, you know, like I said, the Ghetto Boys or Two Live or something, it's going to really rejuvenate them as well. What's in the future for DJ Yella, man? This book is phenomenal. I expect it to do very well for you, and I hope it does. What's in the future?
Probably doing a little more roles. I want to do more Q&As at universities and colleges because every college has hip-hop classes now. I didn't know that. You know, I already did a couple of them in Canada, and I like that more than performing and stuff. I like, you know, sitting down asking the question, you know, telling people, you know, that's amazing because they can also buy the book for the school. It's crazy. And, you know, maybe I have a movie script that's done. I was just waiting for me to finish the book, but I have finished a movie script just before the book. Before I even thought about doing the book, I had finished the script. So I'm waiting to see, you know, maybe somebody might want something out of this book, TV series, whatever, I don't know. And then the script, and then I'm not going to do too much. More relaxing, enjoying the family, enjoying the wife. Just, you know, because I'm just now getting peace and joy. I thought I had it in the days with big money. You see how I had money, $500,000 in my pocket, and then 2 months later, you're broke. But peace and joy don't come by money. It has to be given to you. And that's only through God that he can give you peace and joy. And I discovered it, and it is amazing. And it has nothing to do with money, nothing. I don't stress about nothing at all. Nothing.
That's beautiful, man, because you really, like I said, you were able to almost like come full circle, you know, and be at peace with so many different things. But, the Q&A, man, Mike Tyson did that. It seemed like he had a lot of fun. He did a tour. Hopefully you could pick that up here soon. You know, this stuff dies down a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that definitely.
And this is the first interview I did since 2019. Well, I did the DOC documentary, but this is the first interview I've done in the past year and a half. Yeah, because I haven't been doing too many interviews. Only I was doing the big boys, you know, if it's about the group, or something like that, I do it. But other than that, I haven't done any interviews at all.
Hey, man, this is one for the underground. I appreciate that, man. And I'm really grateful to be the first in a while. Because we had you on the show years ago, and you were always a real humble guest, always a good person to talk to. You had great insight on things. But this book, it's just full of so many gems. I just got a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna let you go, Yella. But this first one, you guys are on tour. And at the show with LL Cool J, an unknown person comes in and starts punching one of you guys in the face.
Oh, in Seattle. Yeah, that was right before the tour. That was kind of right. I don't think it's a part of our tour. I don't think it was. It might have been. I can't remember. Depends on the year. But yeah, it's just somebody, just can walk in our dressing room. Just wow. I didn't want to reveal who it was. That ain't, I ain't throwing nobody under the bus. You see in the book, I didn't throw nobody under the bus. Only myself.
Yeah.
I just threw myself. But yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, no, you didn't throw anybody under the bus. You didn't reveal who it was or who got punched. But do you know why? And was this ever clarified or?
No, that's the crazy
part. Sounds like a random act of violence,
You know what the crazy part is? The guy that came into the dressing room was from Compton. He was from Compton because I found this out years later. I don't know the person, but I found out through my buddy, Big Man. I don't know if he knew the person or something, but he told me, the guy that said, he was from Compton. But it was no words exchanged, no nothing. But that put us on alert, like, okay, we got to get security. That's when we started having security. From that day on. Because somebody just strolled in your dressing room. You're like, wow.
But you guys were ready to grab things. You guys were eyeing different weaponry that's laying around.
I know I had a mic stand. On the mic stand, the old ones had the big weighted piece at the bottom. So, that was going to bust somebody. But, it was just so quick and so fast. It's just like, wow.
Whoever he was punching, did they get really fucked up? I mean, pardon my language, were they all covered in blood?
They took it. They took it.
Wow.
After the first punch, they stood back up. After the second one, they stood back up again. No whining, no crying, nothing.
Whoever did it had a good chin to keep getting up like that. He should have been a boxer maybe. But that's wild, But you guys were getting ready to handle him. What did he do? He just turned around and walked out?
He just walked out. Just fast as he came in, fast as he walked out. Just like that. Just nothing. No words, no nothing. So I don't know if this person knew this person. I have no idea. We never talked about it. Outside of that, we never talked about it. No more. At all.
Your book is the first time that you've even discussed it then, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, a bunch of stuff is the first time I discovered a lot of stuff. Interviews
sleeping
mostly
on the floor, and all kinds of different. Like I said, there's a lot of highs and lows in this book. You really don't pull any punches, man. I really commend you for writing such a thorough book that gives us such a good glimpse into your personal life. We've always known DJ Yella, the musician, the producer, you know what I'm saying, the member of N.W.A, but we never knew much about you. And then people are going to be asking me, why didn't you talk about the movies? And because I know that's one of the things they want to talk about as well. But I don't want to talk too much.
I touched on the movies, but I didn't go into detail of the movie, because I'm saved now. So I'm like, I didn't want to. I was going to throw a couple of covers in there, but the editor said, you don't want to put that in, so I didn't put them in there. So So I kind of like dabbled with it. I didn't detail with it, you know. But yeah, I did 350 movies or something. I did it for 15 years at least.
Well, it's successful in that.
I did it just like music. I just went in when the idea first came to me. I thought of it as making records. Okay, I want to do everything: camera, video, take the stills, whatever. I want to do it all. That's how I went into it.
Yeah, and you know, I remember you advertised in Murder Dog magazine many of your movies, and I used to get a box of CDs every month from Murder Dog to review. And this one, I get this. All of a sudden, I see this Jake Steed. It had nothing to do with you, and I'm like, "What the hell is this? Why is he here?" I guess he was a rapper / porn star. And then I started your stuff too. I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." I was happy for you though, because I knew you were doing something. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the, I knew you were successful at it. But man, you've been to the top of the music industry, to the top of that industry, and now, and you're touring the globe. When you look back, you know, at your life and all the stuff you wrote about in this book and everything that's going on now as well, what are you most fond of?
I think the day I got saved, because I knew nothing about it, never heard nothing, you know, I knew nothing about it. And ever since that day, I've just changed my mind. Like, I got a new mind ever since that day. My character is still there. My style is still there, but I just changed. I got married. I got saved. 10 months later, I was married. And that was it. And that's what I'm into now. I go to church every Sunday. I'm a deacon now. I go to Bible study. You know, I travel the world DJing. You know, when I DJ, I cuss in the shows because the songs cuss. But that's all. It's just for the show. Outside of the show, I'm just, nope, I don't cuss. I don't do none of that. I don't drink, smoke, nothing. But I just changed. And you know what's so funny? I enjoy life more now than in the heyday of the group. Because it's so simple now. It's just, I live a simple life. I don't go very many places. I keep to myself. I'm just simple. Very simple now.
I like the little things in the book that you talk about too, like when you started DJing again, you know, not having the records and doing it, you having to get used to doing it without the records, and you know, it's a very detailed book. Again, everybody is straight out of My Untold Story. Yella, give them the website so they can go purchase a copy of that.
Yeah, it's Straight Outta Compton, My Untold Story. Available for signed autographs. Books will be on my site at DJYella of N.W.A.com, or you can get paperback or ebook at Amazon.com. Yeah,
definitely. I recommend that you guys get it. I got one question here from the homie Sin in France, and then I'm going to let you go, Yella. I really appreciate you. Sin, are you there, brother?
Yes, sir, Scott. Hi, DJ Yella, legendary.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Can you tell us about the first Wrecking Crew single, Slice, in 1984? It was under Cut Crew label of Alonzo. And also about the great cover with the red vinyl on it, with the hand and all that for the single. Can you tell us about the processes of creation for Slice?
He wants to make it.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? And people don't realize that was the first recorded song we ever did. You know, it was me and Clientele. Clientele did the rap. I did the, made the beat and all that stuff. But it was before any music we ever done. That was the first. Even though it wasn't that great to me, but it opened the door. Because the next song that happened was Surgery, and that opened the floodgates. But Slice is the one that built the house. It was the foundation, which is crazy. I didn't realize it until I was writing the book. and we just did the song, you know, copying off of Run DMC or whoever we copied off of. I think it was Run DMC. You know, it was our first time doing something, and we just had fun with it. It was, wow. I heard that song in a long time. That was the inspiration. Because I had already been doing other little stuff, mixes for record companies and stuff like that. And then that was the start of the music for us.
Yeah, the cover was crazy. It was a red villain on this. That's the idea of the cover.
A dope era. You said the cover was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the guy named Daryl Davis. That's his name. He just came up with it. He just designed it for us. We didn't tell him what to write, and it just slicing the record. I'm like, wow, okay, that works. And that's it, because they did the same guy did the next 2 or 3 covers, which was Surgery and then Juice. So he did all 3 covers. So it just.
I imagine this song was crazy in After Dark.
Oh, with the girls club after dark. Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's those fringe benefits. You'll find out about it in the book. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate too.
Yella, huge honor, brother. Thank you so much. And everybody, please go to DJYella of NWA.com. Get a copy of the book autographed, or go to Amazon and get the digital version. Man, is there anything you want to say before we go, Yella?
No, I mean, you know, it's just, first of all, thank you for doing the interview. I mean, it was relaxed, it was comfortable, not the same old, the standard question. That's why I said read the book first, then let's do the interview. Because, everybody knows the standard, how the group got started, this, that. We all know that. But the
basics,
book, yeah, the basics. But I had fun, and what it is, the book is just my testimony. It's just my testimony, how a person like me, I was a sinner, all that, all my life. And then God came and changed me. Okay? He came and got me. If he can get me, he can get anybody. Anybody.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Thank you so much, Yella. I appreciate you.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, like, comment, share. Also go over to UGSforLife.com, download the entire archive, and check out new episodes on Apple Podcasts and Blog Talk Radio.